Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this morning I woke up and I had an Instagram message from one of my followers asking if I will review Gabbie Hanna's most recent YouTube video. The video is titled, I tried the keto diet so you don't have to. And I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to kind of show how you can avoid the symptoms that she was experiencing and just experience a completely different side of doing the keto diet and making it into a lifestyle. So I would say that she has provided a misrepresentation of the total experience, and not saying that she doesn't know anything. I'm not slamming Gabbie. I think her videos are great. However, I don't think that she experienced any of the positive at all and has just focused on the negative. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to kind of tell you how you can avoid these signs and symptoms and what you can do to make it through the early phases of the diet so you can benefit from the diet and make it more of a lifestyle. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a dietitian and not yet a nutritionist. However, I have been doing this diet and living this lifestyle for over a year now, and it's honestly changed my life. If you've watched any of my previous videos, I have made that really clear. So for those of you who are dabbling with the diet, or you've done a little bit of research but you're not sure whether or not you want to start, and a video like the one Gabbie has made has kind of completely turned you off, then I'm here to kind of restore hope and show you that it's not as difficult as it has been made out to be.
Welcome back! I tried another thing so that you don't have to, and that thing is keto.
Okay, so first of all, just as she introduces the video, I tried keto so you don't have to. The thing with keto is everybody's experiences are completely different. Your body reacts differently to the person beside you who has also done exactly the same things in trying to get into ketosis or making this diet work. The thing I will say is you have to try it before you can really say anything negative about it, and also try it for a certain amount of time.
As always, guys, when I do these week-long things, I don't look up symptoms, side effects, anything like that until after, because I don't want any of that stuff to skew my perception or think that I'm feeling something that I'm not.
Okay, so Gabbie mentions she doesn't look up symptoms because she doesn't want them to skew with her perception of the diet or provide like a placebo effect. It is really important to do extensive research before you start the diet and actually know about these signs and symptoms that you could potentially experience when starting the diet, only because once you do start to feel them or you're starting to feel a bit off, you know how to combat them. So if you're deficient of a vitamin or a mineral, you know to take that because you're experiencing this kind of ache or pain. That is really, really important because you do want to get in there before things become bad and you do become sick.
An actual thing called the keto flu. And here are some of the things that it'll do to you. Hypoglycemia, constipation, diarrhea, frequent urination, drowsiness and dizziness, muscle cramps, sugar cravings, flu-like symptoms, sleep problems, keto breath, heart palpitations, reduced strength and physical performance. This sounds like a healthy diet.
Okay, so Gabbie explains what is known as the keto flu, and what I will say about this, and yes, it's a thing, a lot of people do experience it. I didn't experience it, not everybody does. If you do go into this diet with a really safe, healthy mindset, and you do know what you're doing, you won't experience it, you can avoid it.
I skipped my coffee because my creamer that I had was not keto, obviously, because it has sugar in it, and we all know how I feel about coffee without creamer.
Okay, so Gabbie mentioned she can't have coffee, or she doesn't like coffee without creamer, and believe me, that's where I was when I first started as well. I couldn't have a coffee without milk. However, there are alternatives, so almond milk, coconut milk, and I have this creamer, so it's a Mega Power creamer that you can put in the blender with your coffee, and it makes it froth up and it tastes really yummy. This one's with stevia, and I have another one that's without stevia. But yeah, there are alternatives to having dairy, and if you do make a bulletproof coffee, which I would recommend because it's a whole burst of energy, it's got MCT, coconut oil, some people put grass-fed ghee or butter And some people even put cream in there. So that's a bit of dairy, but it's high fat and no carbs.
So I eat lunch, it's fine, but I was immediately starving. Like, I'm used to eating a big ass sweet potato for lunch, and I try to wait 5 hours in between each meal. So this was a problem for me, and I was immediately wishing I had more food. But because I was doing a video, I stuck with it. I only made it about 3.5 hours. Again, I usually wait 5 or 6. So that was about half the time that I would normally go without food. And then I ate 2 eggs and...
Okay, so first point, meal prep, awesome. That will absolutely greatly benefit you and save you a lot of time on this diet. Gabbie also mentioned she was hungry within 2 hours, and that really surprises me, but doesn't surprise me considering it's day one. She will be hungry because her body yet hasn't made the transition into using fat from glycogen. Glycogen stores usually deplete within 2 hours, and you do need to refuel. That's why you do need to eat more regularly on a carb-based diet. Whereas when you're consuming fat, one of the best benefits of this diet is the appetite suppression, and you're not hungry. Foods that you do eat are satiating, so if you are incorporating enough fat into your diet, so good fat sources, so you've got your coconut oil, olive oil, these are just my favorites as well, nuts and seeds, fatty fish, you won't be hungry, and this will suppress your sugar cravings as well. And it is also really important to track your food, which she doesn't seem to be doing.
Guys, that night, I'm absolutely craving sugar like crazy. Like, I want candy, I want honey, I want fruit, I want a sweet potato, I want something. I needed sugar, but I didn't do it.
Okay, so Gabbie mentions that she experiences severe sugar cravings, and this will probably happen to a lot of you. So it's only day one for her, so she's still running off glycogen, off sugar. So what I would do to combat these sugar cravings, and often like after dinner, is make a fat bomb. So fight the sugar with fat, because I promise you it will be satisfying. Fat is satiating, so making a little fat bomb with coconut oil or like your nut butters and things like that will absolutely make a difference. Gabbie mentioned she wakes up and she's got a stomach ache and she is lacking energy. Whether or not she may have experienced signs of constipation, not sure. After day one, it's kind of hard to tell. But what I would recommend is she incorporates more vegetables into her diet. So I know it was only day one, but she showed like a small container of what looked like blended like greens, like spinach or something. I'm not quite sure. However, that's not going to be enough to give your body the vitamins and minerals that it needs, so the micronutrients it needs to actually function efficiently. You need to increase your intake of fiber, and fiber comes with vegetables. So if you are tracking, which you should, you have to be mindful that you're calculating net carbs, not total carbs. So you get your total carbs, and you may eat a vegetable that you think is really high in carbohydrates, so you avoid it. However, you do need to look at the fiber content and know that you minus the fiber content from the total carbs, and that will give you your net carbs. So something that is like 5 grams per serving in a vegetable, you're like, no, I don't want to eat that, but it's got 4 grams of fiber, that will only leave you 1 gram as net total carbohydrates. So be mindful of this and make sure you do track and know exactly what the content, the nutritional content of the food is.
Also remembered how important it would be to be taking my vitamins, so I made sure to take magnesium, D3, making sure I'm as not vitamin deficient as possible.
So vitamins and minerals, sure. Supplements, try and get them all from your vegetables, which you can have. Don't be afraid of vegetables. People think that the keto diet, you can't have vegetables because they're all high in carbohydrates. Factor in the fiber content, because that's really important when you are making the selection of which vegetables you can and can't have.
I cannot wait to get home. Like, I'm burned out, I'm exhausted, I'm so hungry. I'm never this hungry. You should have seen me before I got these snacks. I was like, it's wild, man. Like, you really do lose all your energy. I need carbs. I'm dying for a sweet potato right now.
And with that panic hunger, so if you are running off fat, you don't experience that. So there have been days when I've been out and about and I haven't liked the look of anything or any of the food that's like in the stores or cafes or anything, but I can make it home. I'm not panicked. I'm not in a hurry to eat because I can just make it through. I have enough energy. I'm not hungry. It's just getting through that like mental barrier of like, oh, it's 12 to 1 p.m. Like I should be eating at this time. I should be really hungry, but like, it's not like that. I can just make it home and I can get to like safe territory where there is something that I will really enjoy and put in my body that will make me feel really good.
So day 3 again, I had a really hard time actually falling asleep, and I woke up very early. So I had maybe like a very short few hours of restless sleep.
Okay, so insomnia, that is definitely a symptom of the keto flu in the initial phases. So I kind of had a little bit of trouble sleeping from memory, but it didn't last too long. There are things you can do to help with the insomnia or your difficulty sleeping, and that is pop a magnesium tablet before bed. That will relax your entire body, your muscles, and my insomnia was mainly due to like muscle aches, and like my mind was just like really active, but I was also really excited about the new energy that I was experiencing. And just go back to basics, like limit screen time before bed, don't have a coffee after a certain point of you knowing that it's going to affect you, and just try and like wind down early in the evening, and hopefully these symptoms will pass. I don't really know much about insomnia or the effects of the diet on insomnia, so I can't really say too much. I can just kind of give you like basic remedies, and probably magnesium and micronutrients is absolutely going to do a lot for you. Fasted workouts and just working out in general, your energy levels will change in the early phases of the diet. However, just don't stress about it too much. Try and do something a little bit more relaxed, but something that is really effective as well. Like try some yoga or going for a walk, a little bit lighter on your body.
I just finished breakfast and I am ravenous. It's like I didn't even eat anything. I could pile through 3 watermelons right now. It's really f***ing me up. I feel like I can't do anything else that I need to do because I'm so focused on my hunger. I am so hungry.
With extreme hunger, you won't feel like that past a certain point. If anything, it frees your mind of thinking about food. And this is what's really healed me with like my binge eating and just like constantly being hungry and thinking about food all the time, plotting your next meal. It just takes over your mind. Like you finish one meal and then you're thinking about the next. I don't think about food anymore. Food isn't a priority in my life. I eat to survive. I don't need it anymore to like, you know, distract me. Like I can think about other things, and I am more motivated to put my energy and my brain power towards better things.
I just woke up in the middle of the night with a pounding migraine, nausea, a headache. Feels like my eyes are popping out.
A migraine or a headache or experiencing any feeling like Gabbie has just described is due to dehydration, and she hasn't actually mentioned at all throughout the video the need for a really high intake of water, and with the water a high sodium intake as well, so your body can retain the fluid. So the first thing to go when you lose all the weight is going to be the water weight, so you need to replace it. You need to increase your electrolyte balance. So just, it's simple, just add salt to your foods, your drinks, everything. With water, increase it, but you don't want to dilute the sodium and electrolytes that you do have. So therefore you need to also increase your salt intake with the water intake.
The fat in my body, like I could feel it swimming in my veins. And
it's absolutely a mental barrier. And trust me, I went through this as well. It's like mentally consuming that much fat. We have been led to believe that fat is so bad for us our whole lives, and of course so that the oils and things like that, it's just shock for your palate, but you get over it. And for me now, I crave my oily coffee in the morning. Like I love it, it's my favorite thing. It's just mentally getting past the fact that you are now eating all of this fat, and poor fat, it's been slammed so badly.
And I decided on the spot I am tapping out. I'm tapping out. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna eat my frozen blueberries, I'm gonna enjoy everyone. This is my lunch and I'm very happy. I just had all those blueberries and now I'm having a salad with chicken, green beans, and black beans. You can't.
Okay, and then Gabbie, I'm so sorry that you literally had to go through that. It sounds awful. I think you managed to get every single negative symptom of this diet possible, which is a shame. I'm sorry. However, blueberries, the ones that you reward yourself with in kind of like ticking that keto box and then quitting, they're actually keto. You can have blueberries, you can have berries. They're actually low carb. And then you also follow the blueberries with a delicious looking salad containing like chicken, beans, and like leafy greens. They're keto as well. You can have all this stuff on the keto diet. You just need to be mindful of how much. And if you are tracking with the lean proteins, for example, you need to kind of try and incorporate more fattier meats rather than the lean proteins. So like chicken thigh rather than chicken breast, which Gabbie knew. But for me, I eat all of that every single day. Not every single day, but like the days that I have chicken, I'll eat chicken breast. Like it won't bother me and it won't affect my chances of sitting in ketosis. So I think the key take home messages from my video in response to Gabbie's video is like, you need to do it for longer. For starters, a week is not long enough to actually experience all the amazing benefits of being on the keto diet, which include like appetite suppression, which will then lead to weight loss, which is why Gabbie did it. You didn't actually experience any of the mental benefits, which is like literally the reason why I am so like pro keto. It's literally the reason that I am so passionate about this, and I feel the need to kind of spread the awareness of the diet and the benefits of the diet, is because my brain power is insane. I now have this new energy, this new motivation. I am the most ambitious I've ever been in my life. I'm busy, but I love it. Like, I am just a much more efficient human on this diet. You do need to be mindful of the fiber content of the vegetables, because by the looks of it, Gabbie, you have avoided most vegetables because you've seen them as high carb. If you do have a tracking app such as like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer or something like that, you can actually log them in and it will show you the fiber content of the vegetable, and you can pair that with the carbohydrate. Remember to calculate net carbs, not total carbs. Testing is also really good. It's a whole new boost of motivation if you see the color on the strip change. In my last video, I talk about testing for ketosis, so check that out. And if you are feeling, and overall, if you are feeling really unhealthy on this diet and you just feel like you can't do it anymore, don't do it. If you're feeling malnourished, if you're feeling sick, go to the doctors. And what I would also recommend is get a baseline blood test just to know exactly where you're sitting before you start the diet, and then as you go along, maybe like weeks or maybe even probably even months to get like a real result. Or see a real difference in your blood work, go and get a blood test. It's really important to know if you're lacking in vitamins or minerals, or if there's anything you should be doing differently. So with my experience on the keto diet, I live and breathe this way, and it is a lifestyle for me. It is so easy. It aids my training. I have so much more energy in the gym and my workouts. My endurance events, so I ran a marathon off fat. I did a 24-hour rowing challenge off fat, and it was incredible. I did not fatigue. My recovery time the next day was so quick. So I would 100% recommend this diet for somebody who is wanting to up their game physically and mentally. If you do experience the keto flu, there is absolutely a way out. You just need to know exactly what to do to combat these signs and symptoms. So incorporating more nutrient and vitamin rich vegetables into your diet is absolute essential, and increasing your water intake with your sodium intake, so then therefore you retain the water, and just overall upping your electrolytes is also crucial in order to not get sick and feel the negative symptoms of this diet. But please just give it a go, and don't let a video like Gabbie's, and sorry Gabbie if you see this, which you probably won't because I'm a nobody YouTuber, but Gabbie, like, this is a total misrepresentation of what the overall keto experience should look like. Take it from me, who is living and breathing every single positive benefit of the diet. So yeah, don't let it dishearten you guys. Keep going, and yeah, make sure you just do your research before starting. But thank you so much for watching. Gabbie, I love your videos. But yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. Remember to like and subscribe.